Since the early days of modern professional wrestling, the industry has always been built on stories of resilience, of men and women who fell only to rise again, of journeys that took unexpected detours before leading back to the grandest stage of them all. Few narratives capture the heart of the wrestling world more than those of the athletes who began their careers under the bright lights of WWE, who left to chase dreams elsewhere in companies like TNA, AEW, or across the independent scene, and then fought their way back stronger, more complete, and more beloved than ever. We begin with Rob Van Dam, the high-flying innovator who captured the imagination of an entire generation. After leaving WWE in 2007, he found new life in TNA, where his athletic style and unmatched charisma made him a world champion. Fans never stopped chanting his name, and in 2013, he made a triumphant return, reminding the WWE Universe that his star power and unique energy were as bright as ever, even after years away. Shelton Benjamin followed a different path. Always considered one of the most naturally gifted athletes WWE ever produced, he stepped away in 2010, competing in Japan and across the independent circuit, where his pure wrestling ability continued to shine. When he finally came back in 2017, he was older, wiser, and still just as athletic, proving that his time away only sharpened his craft. Even without headlining the biggest shows, Shelton's return symbolized persistence, loyalty, and the belief that talent always finds its way back.
Let me introduce you to Shelton Benjamin.
Christian Cage, known simply as Christian in WWE, took one of the boldest steps of his career when he walked away in 2005. Many doubted him, believing he would forever remain in the shadow of his longtime partner Edge. But in TNA, Christian reinvented himself, capturing the NWA World Heavyweight Championship and establishing himself as a true main event star. His return to WWE in 2009 wasn't just a comeback, it was a statement. No longer Edge's sidekick, Christian stood tall on his own, eventually winning the World Heavyweight Championship and silencing every critic who said he couldn't do it.
It's Christian!
This moment has just become, I'm speechless!
And here comes Captain Charisma.
Bobby Lashley's story is one of power, discipline, and determination. After leaving WWE in 2008, he pursued a career in MMA while dominating Impact Wrestling, where he became a multiple-time world champion. By the time he returned to WWE in 2018, he had transformed himself into a force of nature. Lashley didn't just come back, he conquered, adding WWE World Championships to his already impressive resume and proving that reinvention and commitment can turn a good athlete into a true legend.
There all night! Welcome back, Bobby Lashley!
Drew McIntyre's journey remains one of the most inspiring comebacks in wrestling history. Once introduced by Vince McMahon himself as the Chosen One, Drew's early run fell flat, and by 2014 he was released, seemingly another failed promise. But Drew refused to let his story end there. On the independent scene and in TNA, he rebuilt himself physically and mentally into a warrior. When he returned in 2017, he was a completely different man. The culmination of his rise came at WrestleMania 36, when he defeated Brock Lesnar to win the WWE Championship, holding the title high in an empty arena during the global pandemic. That moment, watched by millions at home, was proof that perseverance can turn heartbreak into triumph.
From Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 2
Steps inside Full Sail University. It's into the NXT universe. He's calling for it. It was laid out at the hands.
Rusev, who would later become known as Miro in AEW, experienced both love and frustration in WWE. Despite his undeniable popularity, especially during the Rusev Day phenomenon, he often felt overlooked. Leaving for AEW allowed him to unleash a more intense and dangerous side of himself, proving to the world just how good he really was. When he eventually returned to WWE after WrestleMania 40, It felt like a long-awaited redemption, the return of a powerhouse, ready to finally claim the respect and spotlight he always deserved.
As ever. As ready. Ahead. And another one. And Pat, the accolade is back.
Kurt Angle, an Olympic gold medalist and one of the most decorated wrestlers of all time, left WWE in 2006 after an already legendary run. In TNA, he became the face of the company, a six-time world champion whose matches are still remembered as classics. His 2017 return to WWE, both as a Hall of Famer and as general manager of Raw, was not just a comeback, it was a celebration of everything he had given to the business. A moment where fans got to honor one of the greatest to ever step inside a ring.
Kurt Angle.
Few returns, however, have been as emotional as Edge's. In 2011, forced to retire due to a severe neck injury, Edge tearfully told the world that he would never wrestle again. It felt like a tragic end to one of WWE's greatest careers. Yet in 2020, at the Royal Rumble, the impossible happened. His music hit, the crowd erupted, and Edge walked back down the aisle to a thunderous ovation. Against all odds, after nearly a decade away, he was cleared to wrestle again. It wasn't just a comeback, it was a miracle. A story that reminded every fan that sometimes dreams you thought were dead can come roaring back to life.
Oh my! Edge with a spear! And Edge now in position again with a spear to McIntyre!
And finally, at the very top of this list stands Cody Rhodes. The son of the legendary Dusty Rhodes, Cody grew up surrounded by the business, but for years in WWE, he was seen as nothing more than a mid-card act, a man living in the shadow of his family name. Frustrated with his role, in 2016, he made the bold decision to walk away, betting on himself. On the independent scene, he proved his worth, capturing championships in Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then he helped launch AEW, becoming not just a star, but one of the faces of an entirely new wrestling revolution. Yet deep down, there was unfinished business in WWE. In 2022, on the grandest stage of them all, he returned. No longer Dusty's son trying to make a name, but Cody Rhodes, a fully realized superstar, carrying himself like the main eventer he always knew he could be. His rise to capture the undisputed WWE Championship wasn't just a victory in the ring. It was the culmination of years of sacrifice, of risk, of putting everything on the line to prove he belonged at the very top. Cody Rhodes is living proof that when you have the courage to leave, to grow, and to fight your way back, the world will eventually see you for who you truly are.
To the outside, both of them! And now, for a third time,